The Nerdgasm Talk podcast is brought to you by Spaces Philly. If you love podcasts, go to spacesphilly.com where you can check out Lulu and Pop, Both Sides, Turntables, Jump Thought Super Tongue, and the Nerd Coalition's very own No Gimmicks Needed. Visit spacesphilly.com today. And now, feel the Nerdgasm.
I have a top 10 list, and I do have some honorable mentions because I'm sitting there thinking, like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, some things are going to have to move out, and some things are got to be put in. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do. So right now, these are my honorable mentions for best of 2020. The Lovebirds. I originally had it in my top 10, but now it's going to my honorable mention. That's the oh, baby, you know, Issa Rae.
Issa Rae.
Yeah, Issa Rae movie, and on Netflix. I think it's a good rom com. I know you like rom com swag, so check it out. The One and Only Ivan. This is actually based on a true story that was on Disney Plus. I watched it one day. I was like, oh, I gotta review this, but I never got a chance to do it. It's gonna be too late to even review it right now. So, but it was a very cute story, but it's not going to make. It was in my top 10, but I was like, it's not going to make it there. I take that off, and then The Old Guard. I actually like The Old Guard, where Charlize
Thornton.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
That was a better movie than I expected it to be.
It was. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good, but it's going to make it my honorable mention as opposed to making it in my top 10. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now going into my top 10. Number 10, My Spy with Batista.
Oh God!
I forgot how surprising that movie was for you.
Yes.
And you know what the thing is? I was like, you know what? I think this movie's gonna be good. I was ready to roast Batista out here like Stuber, but I was like, you know what?
Stuber just looks stupid.
Batista, he called out to everybody to watch the movie. It's very important to him because it's a lot about diversity, and I thought it was a decent movie. It wasn't nothing wrong with it. I just thought the way they handled the characters and everything in it, and I thought Batista he's getting better to me as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. I mean, I like him as Drax.
Yeah, but
I mean, other than that, I haven't really been watching any of his other movies.
Well, I think My Spy is a cute film. Like I watched it with my son also, and he enjoyed it, and I watched it with my mom. I was like, okay, yeah. And she like, I was like, but I watched it by myself. Like, hey, Daddy, we should try to check this out. And there are a lot of movies I'd be like, yo, dear, we should check this out. And she'd be like, all right, we gonna do that. We have never got back to it. Like,
she watched this one.
You watched Mr. Pizza. We never said that I watched the full
thing.
We
watched My Spy. I watched the whole thing.
You did watch the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing. He falls in love with the lady and saves her from the terrorist people, and the gay couple was secret agents. It was a whole thing.
Okay.
Well, I don't need to watch it. So
fair. Number 9, because I'm gonna move my original number 9 up. My number 9 is going to be Good Trouble, the John Lewis documentary. Now, the reason why I said number 9 because it's still a good piece of work, but for all the stuff that I know about John Lewis and all the stuff that he did in his life, I felt that they could elaborate a little bit more. But they focused on his Congress stuff, the stuff that he has done now, especially running for stuff in the 80s and the 70s, stuff like that. And I mean, they still touch on his civil rights thing a little bit, but not as in detail that I would have liked it. But I still think it's a good documentary to learn about John Lewis. Okay. So make sure you guys check that out as well. So my number 8 is going to be Black is King.
Hey.
Black is King makes the list because at first I was playing honorable mention. I'm like, no, it gotta be in my list. It gotta be in my list. The Beyonce day I talked about it earlier was very great, very, very, very well done, and I make sure that y'all guys gotta go check that thing out. So I'm not gonna keep talking over about that. Number, I gotta move it down. Number 7, Onward. The surprising Pixar movie this year with Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. That movie got some deep heart in it. And I was like, I didn't expect to like this movie this much. And it was a really well done. It's one of the better Pixar movies. And I legit laughed at that movie. It has legit humor, and legit comedy in there. So I recommend if you guys haven't seen Onward, check it out.
Mhm.
Number 6, Mortal Kombat Legends of Scorpion's Revenge.
That did.
Mortal Kombat Legends of Scorpion's Revenge.
I forgot about that.
WB finds it the first animated Mortal Kombat movie, and it is as violent as you think it's going to be. If you are a fan of Mortal Kombat like I am, this is a good sign for Warner Bros. To explore other animated things opposed to just Batman and Superman movies.
Yes, please.
So I recommend if you because my God, I'm like if I hear another Superman or Batman movie coming out, I'm like I'm going to scream. And but this one really good, really violent. And it gives the more backstory about Scorpion, especially if you guys don't know the history of Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Remember how you told me, Swag, that Sub-Zero was less violent? Yeah, watch that movie.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because he's the cause of all this crap. Now we're going to my top 5. Number 5, Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right.
Sonic the Hedgehog was a great movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to do. Now, it took me 2 viewings the first time.
It took you the second time.
It took me the second time because the first time I fell asleep. I ain't going to lie to you. You know, this adulthood and everything just came over me, and I fell asleep. But then I actually, watched it the second time, and it was like, okay, this is pretty good. Jim Carrey, which is great as it. Who plays Sonic, Swag?
Gosh, I forget his name. The only thing I know him from is Parks and Rec, and he annoyed me in Parks and Rec.
Sure, okay.
Let's go look it up.
Well, I think he did a good Sonic. James Morrison, who for some reason in things that he's in will find himself a black girlfriend. Y'all recognize that?
Yes. The only thing is Enchanted.
I never.
The only thing. Enchanted and X-Men were the only 2 movies.
I was about to say because even in Hairspray, I'm sitting there like, bruh, he ride hard for Negro Week or Negro Day, and I'm just like, James Martin, tell me what's going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it.
His last girlfriend blew up, so he just was like, I'm gonna just move on to something completely different.
Like she like Lily blew up,
No,
or
I'm
that
talking about X-Men, dear.
Oh, X-Men. For that was his wife.
Ba-da-ba.
Yes. Number 4. I'm actually going to switch it because it's going to be The Invisible Man.
I gotta.
The Invisible Man was a horror. It still came out. I didn't watch it in theaters, but I was like, this is actually not a bad horror movie. It's actually pretty dope. But the way it was written, the way it was flushed out, and there are annoying parts where you'd be like, can't you see this guy walking in the rain? And, you know, so like because security guards and cops in these movies be getting on my nerves. I'm like, yo, you're crazy. Put the gun down. I'm like, y'all can't see this figure that the rain just falling on? Like, or you can't see things floating. I'm like, those kind of things bother me. But other than that, it's Invisible Man. I think it's something that people will enjoy. So check that out as well. Now we're at the top 3. Number 3 goes to Bad Boys for Life.
That was early this year.
That was the beginning of the year. So
that was a great movie.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm going on to say,
it's my favorite Bad Boys movie.
I think Bad Boys for Life is the best Bad Boys movie.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Because Bad Boys 2, Michael Bay went whole Michael Bay, and I was just like, I need you to reel it back because we had like 2 hours and 40 minutes of just mindless action in Bad Boys 2. But in Bad Boys 3, I was like, I enjoyed the story element to it. I enjoyed the acting from Martin Lawrence. I was like, I didn't know you had it in you, bro. And to the point, it was like, you know what? I was like, I'm glad they gave him that storyline, but also I'm like, yo, Mike Lowry has a problem. And I'm glad they kind of like addressed it.
Yeah. Like
Number 2.
I was gonna say Bad Boys for Life loses points for me because it should have been for life. Y'all knew I was gonna make a 4th one. Why wasn't that just the
honestly? They didn't know they were gonna make a 4th one. And then when they see how good and how successful Bad Boys 3 was in the theaters, right? It's like we gotta come back with a 4th one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like Lethal Weapon 4.
I wonder, like, what would the plot be for the 4th one?
I know redemption for his son. Like now that like him trying to be a father and stuff will probably be a part of the storyline.
Probably. I mean, I'll wait to see.
I'm still mad that the captain had to die like that, though.
That
Oh
was
yeah,
drunk.
he got
Murked.
clapped.
he got like we was actually in the theater like I was like,
Yeah,
oh
like
wait,
I'd never do that. I was like, oh, dang.
some air just escaped my body. Number 2, Hamilton. I love Hamilton so much. Like I'm into music. I know people. A lot of people. I know you're
How
not.
the heck did that jump so far up the list? I'm
Because
sorry.
I was like, damn, I forgot how good Hamilton was, and the movie version of it, even though it's still on the stage on New York, especially since Broadway went dark this year, which had never happened, and they put Hamilton on Disney Plus. If you guys have never seen Hamilton, because first of all, you know how hard it is to get tickets to Hamilton,
Yeah.
and
you got to give the rights to your firstborn and your left titty to get Hamilton tickets. Like, it's wilding.
and we were just lucky enough to get some for our birthday, and we went to a theater in seats that we couldn't fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And literally everybody was uncomfortable in the seats, but the show was great.
That whole thing was a nightmare. They charged my card twice, and the seats was too small. And yeah, that was a smooth $600. So I was just like, let me call these folks right now. But the show was good. It made up for all of that.
But then now seeing the movie, seeing it up close, seeing the actors, seeing the facial expressions, and seeing the actual Broadway cast, because we had the Philly cast, obviously.
Mhm.
So seeing the Broadway cast, I thought it was phenomenal. And if you're into musicals, definitely check out Hamilton on Disney Plus. And the number 1 movie of 2020 that shocked me, The Five Bloods. Spike Lee's The Five Bloods.
Insert gif of Delroy Lindo dancing in the club. My favorite gift for 2020.
If I told Swag to check it out, R&B, have you checked out The Five Bloods?
Actually, I have, and that movie was that was a really deep and very thought-driven movie for me.
Yeah.
Spike Lee, he always creates these very complex type of films that makes you really think and really makes you have like a conversation about it afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, he could be brutal on the visuals, but Spike Lee does go around and make his point, and I felt as though that this was a good follow-up to the success of Black Klansman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Spike Lee has got himself, like, Spike Lee recently has stayed on one topic and focused on it, and it was come out great. Whereas previous movies, he did multiple topics, and he's like, okay, well, we can't fit all of this. But in Black Klansman and in The Five Bloods, it was just this one journey of whether this is a group of people or this person going through what they need to go through to get to their goal. And The Five Bloods takes a turn, after the 1 hour mark that I ain't see coming. So, like I said, Swag, whenever I know I asked you to watch so we can talk about it, and I know you was just like, we just never got back to it.
Yeah,
I know if you probably go to Netflix right now, it's still probably say like 45 minutes. Right. I got an hour 40 left remaining. But I do recommend you check that movie out. That's why it's my number 1 movie. It should win something at the Oscars next year. And that is my best and worst movies of 2020.